Never work with children or animals, unless of course you're one of the two Dans, who are better known as Double Dan. They get their horses to follow orders in a manner that most parents only wish they could get their kids to do when faced with a long queue at the supermarket. Like getting two horses to run together while standing with a foot on each one. It takes plenty of training, a little bit of faith, and maybe even a hint of confidence in your ability to do the splits, if required. After such a feat, the logical thing to do is to celebrate on the hind legs, the equine answer to Casey Stoner putting his motorbike on the back wheel after a win. Then, take a little rest on a beanbag. But if cool under pressure is what you're really after, how about testing your nerve with a whip being cracked around the ears? With an ability to keep even the most knowledgeable crowd entertained, they performed at the opening ceremony at this year's World Equestrian Games in Kentucky. Not surprisingly, the Double Dan Act is in demand around the world. It's a story of two local boys made good.
Time for the next phase of our EQUITANA Australian Open, the Cutting Championship. I guess a simplistic description might be reining with cows, but it's a little more complex than that, Hamish.
Well, just a little bit, Gary. Basically, a rider and horse combination go into the herd and select a beast, and the idea is really just to get the beast to be disinterested in wanting to go back to its friends.
Clock's running, 2.5 minutes to demonstrate the skill. This is Tanya Black from New South Wales riding Georgia Brown. Now, the real fun, the real test, comes after the rider selects an animal and cuts it out from the herd. They're then required to drop the reins and let the horse take control and work on its own.
Well, that's the thing, Gary. The term they use is drop the hand, and from then on the horse is really meant to just read the cow on its own. So effectively, it's a real dance between the horse and the cow.
Watch the anticipation here, the lightning fast stops and turns to prevent the beast returning to its mates. 4 other riders in the ring, 2 to keep the herd in check, and 2 to try and drive this beast back to the herd. And of course it's Tanya's job and her horse's job to prevent that from happening.
Well, that's right, and you can see the horse just runs along the line there. The idea is for the horse to stay on the line with this particular beast.
Score of 144 for Tanya and Georgia Brown. As with reining, they have a starting score of 70. Points are added or subtracted. Now, here's Todd Graham, one of the best riding One Stylish Pepto.
He certainly is one of the best, Gary, and he's one of the best travelled this year. This horse and rider combination have already been over to the USA, where they competed very successfully. Now they're back here at EQUITANA showing us and this very big crowd just how it all goes.
Once upon a time, Todd, you know, posted a world record score. That was when he won Australia's top prize, the Warwick Gold Cup, in 2001. In fact, on that occasion, he rode Pepto's mother, One More Spin.
Well, it's no surprise that Todd is a $2 million rider.
And here's why, 148.5 the score.
Now here we have Corey Holden riding Amaru Sheoak. Now he's one of the ones to watch definitely in this competition tonight.
Well, he's got 3 horses in the competition. He can't go wrong. He's already posted a score of 151 on Dove's Mate with Destiny.
And that is the leading score to date. But here he is, Amaru Sheoak, a little distracted on the first cow. But you can see he's quite focused now. Now you notice that these horses really watch the beast very well, and they're doing it all on their own. They're trained from a young age, from a 2-year-old. They're trained with a mechanical flag system. They learn to watch themselves. Effectively, the rider is just sitting there, letting his horse do all the work.
Yeah, well, despite Corey's best efforts, the horse didn't seem to be up to the task there. A 129 the score for Amaru Sheoak.
Now we have Todd Graham on Spider-Man into the main arena. Here he's selecting his cow. And the important thing here is to cut a cow out. When you are selecting your cow, is to pick one that's not going to be too strong, not going to be unworkable.
Todd's from Oakey in Queensland, been riding since the age of 5, pro since 1991. And he is one of the top cutting competitors in Australia, without a doubt. Reminder, 2.5 minutes the riders have got here, so they've got time to cut out more than one cow to demonstrate their skill and impress the judges. Not a bad performance, but will it be enough to challenge the leader at this point in the competition? That's Corey Holden with Dove's Date with Destiny.
Corey, you're off to a good start halfway through and you're leading, but it's a pretty slender lead.
Oh yeah, it's only just by 1 point, but it'll all depend how the cows are in the next go round to see how we go.
How do you go making the decision? Because you're on the top of 3 horses, and where do you spend your energy?
Oh, we just try to focus. I mean, I've got 3 good horses, so I've just got to try to focus on cutting some good cows for all 3 of them and try to, stay in the right position so you don't lose one more or less.
Confirmation of the scores at the halfway mark. Corey Holden, Dove's Date with Destiny, 151. They're the leaders. Could be a date with Destiny.
I think it could be. Anything over a 150 is an exceptional score, so that he's going to take some beating tonight.
Well, that puts Phil Dawson and Dream Chaser in the ballpark on 150, but don't discount Todd Graham there with 1 stylish Pepto and some other good scores at this point.
EQUITANA plays host to countless breeds of horses, and the Breeders' Village is the perfect place to get questions answered about the various breeds and what might best suit your needs, like the German riding pony or the Arabian horse. But one of the major attractions was this horse, thanks to its special place in Australian history.
This is Talara Jamison. He is a 5-year-old Australian whaler horse, which means that he is a direct descendant of the horses that were ridden by the Australian light horsemen in World War I, which is what I am representing today. And as you can see, he's in fantastic condition.
There's also a special place for the miniature horses. The miniature horse stands at a maximum of 86 centimetres, or 8.2 hands for those that actually know a bit about horse riding. And they compete in most of the equine events, but without a rider on top of them, obviously. The horses may be small, but the enthusiasm of their owners is anything but small.
I absolutely love them. They're so easy, and if they stand on your foot, they don't hurt. And when you barely have to feed them, so your feed costs is way, way, way down. They eat very little. They're extremely quiet and good for families. They're fantastic.
As cute as they are, competition is still fierce, and it was a happy Rob Lester when his horse, Prince Charming, got the blue ribbon in the 2-year-old gelding category.
Show jumping, you can't beat it for colour and spectacle. That's to come from EQUITANA.